My name is Kirsten Strand, and I'm the Director of Community 412, the Compassion and Justice Ministry here at Community. I am super excited for All In and what it's going to mean for our restoration work in East Aurora. Community 412 has been working in Aurora for the past 10 years, and 3 years ago we launched our bilingual campus. Community 412 and the campus have been operating out of a third-floor space on LaSalle Street near downtown Aurora. And LaSalle Street and that block has always been known for kind of its inactivity and vacant buildings. And it's always been our dream to be a part of bringing revitalization and restoration to that street. And All In is going to help us to be able to do that. We will partner with other like-minded organizations to revitalize the block and have an even greater impact on the children and families of Aurora. Working together with Triple Threat Mentoring and Communities in Schools, the Boy Scouts, and the City of Aurora, we're going to acquire and renovate 2 buildings on the block, which will become our new permanent home. This shared space will allow each of our organizations to expand our programming while also cutting facility costs. It's going to provide us with larger, more visible, and much more accessible street-level weekend celebration space. We're going to be able to expand our midweek Kid City and Stuco experiences and begin an early childhood education program. And I'm really excited about the idea of opening a cafe that can serve as a community gathering space. We also hope that this collaborative venture will bring renewed life and activity to the street that will help attract other organizations and businesses. All In will help us take the next step in our long-term vision of restoring Aurora and LaSalle Street. I now want to introduce you to Greg and Laura Bruno. The Bruno family has been an active part of Community for the past 20 years. Through their generosity and that of many like them, we've seen so many lives restored and transformed. The Brunos have always embodied what it means to be all in.
My name is Greg Bruno, and this is my wife Laura. We attend the Yellow Box, and we have been coming to Community since 1990.
Neither Greg or I regularly attended a church. He was brought up Catholic. I was brought up pretty much nothing. And really felt like it was something that the children needed religious education, but I certainly didn't think there was anything in it for me.
And she came home one Sunday afternoon and said, I think I found a church that's really pretty terrific. Would you like to come? So the next Sunday, I did go. And when we arrived, it was at Naperville Central. The service was held in the cafeteria on there was a small stage set up and some chairs. And it was very different from what I was accustomed to. As time went on, the messages and the Holy Spirit began to speak directly to me. I did make a public commitment and also was able to see my children do the same thing.
I would say for me it happened within the context of a small group. I came to the realization that the Bible was authentic, it was true, and that if that's the case, then Jesus was who he said he was, then it was like a no-brainer. It's like if he really is who he said he was, then the decision's made for me. And I was baptized pretty quickly after that.
The church did meet in a very modest way in the beginning. And we worked our way up to what's called the Little Theater at Central, and then eventually the auditorium. It took many years and some fundraisers in between to get to the point where we could purchase land.
I remember being out in this lot when it was just dirt with the shovels and having the big prayer, everybody holding hands and praying for the space. So we've obviously been here a while, and we've just seen how the church has changed all the way through. We've been through a lot of generosity initiatives, and one thing I think Greg and I would agree on is that the result of every single initiative has been a powerful expansion, not just of Community, but also the way we see it as far as for God's kingdom. So it goes further than just expanding Community. It goes, and it's work that expands God's kingdom.
When you give freely, it releases the hold that money has on you, or can have on you. It's that open hand giving that allows you to then look at financial resources as a tool, which is really what they are.
Through Community and through becoming closer to Jesus and knowing Jesus, I know that money's not mine and that it's supposed to be used to bless other people.
For people who are thinking about giving for the first time, especially those that attend this physical building, I ask that they look around. This building did not happen overnight or even in one campaign. It was a multi-year process. The building is not the key thing. It's what's building in your heart. But without this place, how do we come together in community? How do we have the scale of outreach that we have? How do we do all these things? It was a vision, and it was supported by many, many, many people. No one person made this happen.
I guess my encouragement would be, first of all, just pray about it. Okay, pray about it with your spouse, and listen to what God says. He's going to use it. I'm not going to say you're going to be blessed financially. You hear stories of people say, oh, and then we got to check back. That doesn't always happen. And sometimes it's hard, and your situation is a little tight because you gave. But God's going to bless you back in some way. Just be open to whatever those blessings are. And it's not necessarily going to be you're going to win the lottery afterwards, but you will get blessed from it, and not to be afraid.
When it comes to this church and the community that surrounds it, that we are definitely all in. We're lifers, so to speak.
I can't imagine doing life without the folks here and without the people here. So all in, yeah. I mean, we're all in with community. Good times or bad, or agree or disagree, we're not going anywhere. And it's a place that's worth it.